Good morning, girls. In the yesterday's video, I was explaining you the exercise 4.3 questions 7 and 8, and my video ended at this step, that is x square plus 5x minus 1800, and this was a complete explanation of the question. Now, after this, you will find the answer for x by either the splitting term method, middle term method, or either by the quadratic formula method. Okay, and then you will get the speed of the train. Okay, so go through the explanation once again and find out the answer for x by either solving this by quadratic formula or by the splitting the middle term method, and that will be the answer for speed of the train, which we assumed it to be x. Okay, so now today I will continue with the exercise, same exercise, and that is question number 9, 10 and 11. These are the three questions left in this exercise. Let us take question number 9. Two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 upon 8 hours, right? The tap of the larger diameter. Now there are two taps. One is having a smaller diameter and one is having a larger diameter. Now both the taps will not fill the tank in the same time. They are taking different times. Now the larger diameter takes whatever time it takes. The smaller diameter takes more means it takes more time than the larger diameter. By how much? By 10 hours. We can say that the tap of the larger diameter takes 10 hours less, or we can say that the smaller diameter tap takes 10 hours more to fill the tank, right? Now they are asking you to find the time in which each can separately fill the tank, and if they both fill the tank they will take this much time. Okay, so we have to find separately how much time the first, that is the larger diameter tap, takes and the smaller one takes to fill the tank. Let us begin the question by assuming that there are two taps. Okay, so we'll take let the larger diameter tap take x hours. Understood? Let the larger diameter tap take x hours for filling the tank. I'm not writing the complete statement, it is understood. Then, therefore, the smaller diameter, diameter tap, it will take x plus 10, that is more than this one, right? This is x and this is x plus 10. Now both the taps will fill up the tank in 9 upon 8 hours. So how will we take up an equation? The equation will be formed in such a way that, let us take now in 1 hour, right? In 1 hour the tap fills 1 upon x part of the tank. I repeat, we are talking about the larger diameter tap. In 1 hour, the tap will fill 1 upon x part of the tank. Right? This is which one? The large diameter. Now, similarly, if I talk about the other one, that is in 1 hour, the tap or the smaller diameter tap, it will fill the tank. It will also fill the tank, but it will be how much? 1 upon x plus 10, right? This is separately, means in 1 hour this will fill 1 upon x part of the tank and this will fill 1 upon x plus 10 part of the tank. Now together in 1 hour, together actually they are taking, to fill the complete tank they are taking 9 upon 8 hours, but together in 1 hour they will fill 1 upon 9 upon 8 part of the tank. They will fill this tank, right? So I hope you are understanding. This is in the 1 hour, first one, that is a larger diameter. then the smaller diameter, it will fill the tank. Because both of them have different timings, so the amount of, or the volume of the tank will not be filled, will not be same for both. So together in 1 hour they will fill this much. Now the equation will be formed in such a way that 1 upon x plus 1 upon x plus 10 is equal to 1 upon 9 3 upon 8. Understood? Now we will solve this equation by taking out the LCM. LCM over here will be x into x plus 10, right? And here you will get x plus 10 plus x equals to 9 8s are 72, 72 plus 3 will be 75, and 8 will go up, so it will become 8 upon 75, right? So here we get 2x plus 10, and that will be multiplied by 75. This will go up, 8x square plus 80x. Now we will solve this again. I get here 150x plus 750 equals to 8x square plus 80x. We will combine the terms, 8x square plus 80x minus 150x minus 750 equals to 0, right? We will bring all the terms to the right side and we will write the equation, 8x square minus, now when you subtract 8, 80 and 150, you will get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 14, 15, that is 70x minus 750 equals to 0. Now can you find a number which will divide all the three? Yes, we will make it we can directly solve by quadratic formula or by splitting the middle term, but we can simplify or we can easy out our numbers by dividing this whole equation by 2. So what we can do is, if I divide this equation by 2, I will get 8x square, it was 70x, right? Let me check, and minus 750 equals to 0. When I divide this whole equation by 2, I will get 4x square minus 35x and minus 2 3s are 6, 2 7s are 14, minus 375 is equal to 0. Now you've got a quadratic equation, and you will simplify this or solve this by either quadratic formula, right? Or if it is convenient for you, you can use the splitting the middle term method. Both methods can be used to find the value of x, okay? And that will be the larger, that is the time taken by the larger diameter, and then you can find out the time taken by the smaller diameter, to means the value of 1 will be x and x plus 10. Okay, just check out this answer. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me. I will now start with question number 10, right? So look here. An express train takes 1 hour less than the passenger train to travel 132 km between Mysore and Bangalore, without taking into consideration the time they stopped in the intermediate stations. If the average speed of the express train is 11 km per hour more than the passenger train, find the average speed for both the trains. Now look at this. An express train takes 1 hour less. Can we say that a passenger takes 1 hour more than the express train? Passenger trains move slowly, express trains moves faster, right? Now you have to, it is given that both of them have to travel 132 km. Average speed is express train is more than the passenger train by 11 km per hour. We will find the average speed of both the trains. Okay, so let us see how we'll complete this question. Let the speed of the passenger train be x kilometer per hour. We can also assume x for the express train. Depending on whatever you want to assume, you can assume it. Now the speed of which train? express train will it be same? Obviously no. It will be x plus 11 kilometer per hour, because I told you express train has more speed than the passenger train. Now this is a speed, this is a speed. Now what is the distance which the trains have to travel? The distance which has to be traveled is equal to 132 kilometer, right? It is given in the question. Now if you know that time is given by the formula distance upon speed, right? So if I take time for this passenger train, it will be 132 upon x, right? This is for the passenger train. Now if I go with the time for the express train, it will be 132 upon x plus 11. This is the time taken by the express train. Now both of them are traveling the same distance. Now it is saying that the time taken by this train is 1 hour less than this, or we can say that the passenger train takes 1 hour more. Now we can take up an equation like this. We write according to the question. Now see, passenger train takes 1 hour more. So let us assume this is a passenger train time. This is equal to 132 upon x plus 11 plus 1. You understood why plus 1? Because this is the time taken by the passenger train and this is the time taken by the express train. Passenger train takes 1 hour more than the express train. We can inverse, or we can change this equation in the other format also, right? And as I told you that express train takes less time, so we can change the equation. Both the equations will be correct. The other alternative will be, we can also write 132 upon x plus 11 is equal to 132 upon x minus 1. So either you take up this equation, time taken by the express train is 1 hour less than the passenger train. So either this equation will work out, or you take this equation as I showed you here, right? So let us proceed with this one. So I will write the equation once again. We will write or 132 upon x is equal to 132 upon x plus 11 plus 1, right? So as I said, we will proceed with this equation. So we will write 132 upon x minus 132 upon x plus 11 is equal to 1. Find the LCM. X bracket x plus 11. Here I get 132 into x plus 11, right? And here I get 132x is equal to 1. Solve here. 132x plus, what is 132 into 11? What is 132 into 11? 132 into 11 will give you 1452. So 1452 minus 132x. Here when I shift this part here, I get x square plus 11x, right? So we again get a quadratic equation, 11x. This will cancel. The equation now reduces to x square plus 11x minus 1452 is equal to 0. Now you can find the answer for x, right? And you will find the answer for x. That will be the speed of the passenger train, and right, then you can also find the speed of the express train, right? This will be x plus 10. So I hope you will be able to complete this part of the question and find the answer. If you still don't get it, you can ask me. Okay, so these are the two questions, 9th and 10th. I will now quickly tell you how to solve question number 11. Now look here. Some of the areas of the two squares is 468 meter square. If the difference of these their perimeters is how much? 24 meter. Find the sides of the two squares. I repeat, sum of the areas of the two squares is 468. There are two squares, and obviously those two squares have different sides, right? They have different sides. So let us assume that let the side of the first square be x. Right now we want the quadratic equations in one variable, but abhi for just now I will assume let the side of the second square be y, right? So one square has side x and the other square has side y. Okay, now it is given that the sum of the areas. How do we find the area? The area of any square is given by side into side. So we will write area of the first square, right? And that will be x square. Area of second square will be how much? Y square, right? Now it is saying that their perimeters, the difference in their perimeters is given by how much? 24. So let us take the perimeter. You know, perimeter is given by the formula 4 into side. 4 into x, right? This is for the first square. And perimeter for the other one will be 4y, and that is for the second square. Yes, children, I hope you are understanding first square and the second square. Now you know that 4x plus 4y, no, not plus 4y, difference. Difference is given by 4x minus 4y equals to how much? 24, right? Now I will take out 4 common. X minus y equals to 24, and I will get x minus y is equal to 24 by 4, that is 6, right? So my equation for y will be, I will bring y here, as you know that x minus y is equal to 6. So y will be equal to what? X minus 6. If I bring y here, it will be plus y, and if I bring 6 here, it will be minus 6. So the value of y is how much? X minus 6. Now this value of y I am going to substitute in the previous equation. What was the previous equation? The previous equation was x square plus y square is equal to 468. Now how I got this equation? It is given that the sum of the areas of the two squares, right? The area was x square, the area was y square, and the sum of these is equal to 468. So I write here 468. Now we want the quadratic equation in one variable. So I will reduce this y to x minus 6. So I will get x square plus x minus 6 the whole square, right, equals to 468. Got it? So you will now solve this. We will get x square plus x square minus 2 into 6, 12x plus 36 is equal to 468. 2x square minus 12x plus 36 minus 468 is equal to 0. I'll get here 2x square minus 12x minus, what is 468 minus 36? You will get 432. 432 equals to 0. We can reduce this equation by dividing by 2, 2, 2. We can do it. If you want to make it easy, we can divide. So I will get the equation as x square, right, minus 6x and minus, what is 432 divided by 2? 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, and 2 6s are 12. So the equation now reduces to x square minus 6x minus 216 is equal to 0. Now after this you will take up either splitting the middle term method or you take the quadratic formula method. You will get the value of x and y, that is you will get the sides of the two squares, right? So children, this completes your exercise 4.3, and I am also ending my video. Now you will check out the answers for these 3 questions. If you have any doubt, you can message me, and also complete the examples which are given before this exercise. And I will now, in my next video, I will do the next exercise, and that is nature of the roots. I have also explained you the nature of the roots, but we will take up some questions from this exercise tomorrow. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.